Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. I think this is the first live that I have done since 2022 came in, huh? Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that everyone is off to a safe new year, that everyone has a theme, as I talked about over a few days ago, the theme that is kind of overlaying everything that you want to do this year. For mine, it's full out. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I started going full out, and I intend to do everything as best as I can this year in my bet with my best efforts and giving it my all. No more practicing, no more pacing in time, but going for all that I want and going for it full throttle. And I hope that you have decided to do the same. I do. So I'm over on Instagram. Hello to everybody joining me over there. And I'm over here on Facebook trying to do a little better this year as far as making sure that I understand where everybody is and being able to see everyone. So I'm going to turn on my comments here to make sure I'm not missing anybody. And again, I am so happy to be here. Welcome to Thought for Thursday. This is our first Thursday in 2022 where we talk about various things that will help you to be better in what you do, to be better in how you are physically, to be better in what you do personally to elevate your life and professionally to elevate your life. So that is exactly what we're doing. Hey, Tandra, how are you? That's exactly what we're doing here tonight. I wanted to talk to you for just a little bit. You know, Thought for Thursday is just a short segment where I give you some food for thought and some tips for bettering things in your life. So today we're talking about self sabotage. You know, in the caption, I wrote, "Hey, I see mom is on here too." Talk about the fact that we are often our own worst enemy. We set out to do certain things, we make plans, and there are often times when, we can be really successful in getting them done. And then there's some times when we just flat out fail. And what we need to do in those situations is to make it a point to learn from everything that we go through. I always say each part of our journey has significance, whether we enjoy it or not. There's a lesson in there, and there's something to be learned from it. So, one of the major things that I'm trying to get us to see as we start out in 2022, yes, we're going to have some goals. Yes, we're going to have some plans. We may even have a theme, like I have a theme for the year. But what we have to remember is that we have to get around those things that are going to cause us to fall off of our progress train. And one of those things that are going to cause us to fall off, or that will cause us to fall off, is self sabotage. We're too hard on ourselves. It's often so much easier for us to extend grace to others than it is to extend grace to ourselves. We are more forgiving of others than we are of ourselves. And there are a couple of reasons why we self sabotage. There are a couple of things that you need to look at to find out why you may be self sabotaging if you know that this is something that you just might be doing. One of the things is control. You might self sabotage because you have a need to be in control of your circumstances. Okay, so yeah, a recovering type A here, and sometimes really not recovering, just flat out a type A. Where we go. We want to control everything that happens. We want to plan. We want to make sure this goes forward. And if it doesn't go just the way we plan, I know in my situation, I start to beat myself up. I should have done this. Or perhaps if I had focused more in this arena, I could have done things a little differently. So, why is it that we self sabotage? It's because, number one, we think that we want, or we know that there is a tendency or desire to control every piece of what we do. And if you put your all into something, you run the risk of being vulnerable. Okay. Fear gets the best of you, and that's why you self sabotage. What's another reason why you may be self sabotaging? Low self esteem. Okay. Do you feel unworthy of greatness for whatever reason that might be? You feel as though whatever you're doing really doesn't warrant what you really want to get out of it, the success that you want to get out of it. Sometimes we feel that we're not worthy of that success. I know that sounds crazy, but it is oh so true. For whatever reason, you may have decided, happiness ought to be forever, and it's just not happening. It's beyond your reach. It's a self-limiting idea, okay? And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You feel that you can't be happy in what you're doing. You feel that you can't be happy in life. You can't have a successful relationship. You can't have a successful job. And speaking those things, the limiting belief will start to infiltrate and start to pull on your self esteem, of course, and start to really affect how you think and become truth for you. Okay. What's another reason? Excitement. Perhaps you undermine your efforts because you're seeking excitement. You want whatever you're doing to be exciting. And you want whatever you're doing to be exciting all the time, no matter what part of the process you're in. You just want it to be exciting. And that is not always the case. Yes, we are going to have a lot of things that we do that's going to make us happier than other parts of our process will make us. We'll go through some pieces of the process that we really, really enjoy. And then there may be some pieces that we just don't enjoy at all. But that doesn't mean that we're not getting somewhere and we're not being successful. So we self sabotage ourselves because every little part of the process is not, making you do flips and turns and cartwheels and loving life all the time. That's another form of self sabotage if we expect to be excited about each and everything that we do. That may not happen. All right. So if you consider yourself, if you see yourself in any of these descriptions, don't be fearful. You're not the only one, first of all. And I say that about everything that we talk about on Thought Thursday and in all of my blogs. And that's something that I want us to see, particularly us risers, And for those who haven't heard that definition, I call risers women 45 plus who are at an interesting prime in their life, where we've kind of done the first half and this is the second half. And I truly believe that the latter is going to be better than the former. But us risers, we are determined to do whatever is needed to make sure that we elevate to the life that we desire to have. For many people, that is starting a new career. For others, that's, starting a new career, that's retiring. For many people, it's doing what you have wanted to do for so long. For some people, it is finally having the confidence in yourself that you deserve to, be at the forefront in your job, to take recognition for those things that you've done in corporate America for so long that other people have gotten credit for. It's time for you to finally self advocate for yourself. Risers in particular, pulling it back to this whole self-sabotaging piece. We in particular kind of have a tendency over the years, we've self-sabotaged ourselves, and it's kind of hard to pull up from that posture. But I'm telling you, it can be done. You can stop negating all of the things that you're doing and downplaying what you're doing and looking down on your accomplishments. And like my post said to say today, be proud of the things that you have accomplished and learn from the things that have not come out the way that you want them to come out. So, what are some of the things that you can do, okay, for defeating self sabotage? The first thing you want to do, observe your behavior. First off, it's essential that you begin to observe what it is that you're doing. Make a journal entry every time you realize that you're self sabotaging yourself. That's something that you can do because it will bring to your remembrance when you go back to that journal. hey, this is a habit that I have. This is something I've done in the past. I know it's self sabotaging. I have to make amends, find out a process for not doing that again, or just simply reminding yourself, hey, this is a defeating thought that I have, and I have to find something to replace that. Okay. So observe what it is that you're doing so that you recognize the behavior. Stop over analyzing everything. That's another part of, observing your behavior. If you're looking at it, you're going to see all parts of it, but you don't have to over analyze it. Over analysis will lead you definitely to consistently, negating what you do. Nothing will ever be good, okay? Most often our truest intentions are evident in our actions rather than our words. Strive to be more, personal. Make sure that you are taking part in each and every piece of what you're seeing and what you're doing. Again, put it in that journal, and eventually you'll gain a better understanding of when this behavior is starting to kick off for you. The second thing, envision your success. Okay. Keep in mind that success is neither black nor white. You make your own definition of success. Something that we frequently do, particularly those of us who have been in the workforce for a while, just living, period. Okay. We have a tendency to let other people tell us what success is. Social media tells us what success is. Salary ranges tell us, if we hit a certain salary, then that means we're successful. We let family, we let parents, we let any number of people tell us what success looks like without having that definition ourselves. It is so important that we understand what success looks like to us. And that way we are much more apt to actually reaching the goals and objectives that we have set that determine success. So make sure that success is on your terms and not on anyone else's terms. Okay. There are going to be challenges, no matter how you look at it. Nothing ever comes easily. There are some parts of your process that probably will, and there are others that won't. Don't go in expecting everything to run smoothly, because, again, when things start to hit those hiccups, you're more apt to come in and say, this just isn't going to work. You have to move away from that negative feeling, and you have to move away knowing that you have to work. It's all a part of the journey. There is something that you have to put in order to get to what you need. And I talked about envisioning your behavior already, or envisioning your success. The last thing is let go of perfection. I've said this before. Nobody's perfect. We will never, I promise you, I can guarantee you, in whatever you do, it is not going to be perfect. It's just not in us as humans to be perfect. Okay. So we have to let go of that notion. And sometimes I often say this, and I used to, and particularly with my son, I would tell him, your best is perfection for you, or giving it your best. Good enough is in many instances, rather, being good enough is actually the best. If you are giving it your all, if you have put in all of the resources, if you've done the research, if you have gotten yourself educated on a process, and you've really, really put all into the process in order to get what you want, even if it falls a little short, guess what? You have still reached some success in there. You have not failed, and you don't need to self sabotage and tell yourself that the whole thing is a failure. As the old saying goes, throwing out the baby, the water, everything. You don't want to do that. All right. So, a quick 15 minutes here, a quick thought for Thursday. Are you self sabotaging? Okay. Are you really negating everything that you do, or throwing away perfectly good ideas because they don't come together in total perfection, or because you're not excited about each and every part of your process? Okay. Or because you can't control each and every instance of what goes on. All right. You have got to envision your success, observe what you're doing, and then start journaling that so you can go back to it and say, I've been doing this for a while and I can see where it's leading. I know that this is self sabotaging and I have to make some changes. And then you will start to see a difference and you will begin to make the progress that you need. And what I say all the time is, remember that you set your terms for success. You cannot allow self sabotaging thoughts to come into your mind because of other parameters, because of other, heights and depths and measurements that people give to success. You ultimately are the determining piece. You are the person who determines what success looks like for you. All right? That's it for Thought for Thursday. I also want to mention, as I'm closing, Finally Me is starting up again next week. That is the first 4 weeks of the larger program, Arise, which is a 12-week program. Finally Me is for the person who is ready to finally put themselves first at the beginning of the year. It's time to put you first, to sit back and take a look at the things that make you, that have carved you into the person that you are right now, to get back at some of those things that are really good about you that you have neglected, to find out how some of the things that you're passionate about, some of the things that you already have skills in, some of the things that you really have wanted to pursue for forever and just have not done so. Now is the time to sit down and put some thought to that. We do those things in Finally Me. We do analysis. We take a look at the things that you do, perhaps in that job that you don't necessarily like, but there are pieces of it that you like. There's something that you desire to do that you've been putting on the back burner forever. We take a look at the skill set, the passion. We take a look at where you are mentally also. We tear down self esteem and limiting beliefs, issues with that, so that you can elevate to the place that you desire to be at this particular point in your life. Again, this is a course that's for my risers, those women 45 plus. We're at a special place in life now. And for many of us, particularly after the pandemic and all that's been going on for the past few years, we have made a commitment and we've come to the realization, if we don't make a change now, then when will the change happen? When are we actually going to go out and do those things that we want to do and make the changes that we want and go for those things that we may not feel that we've been worthy of, but we owe it to ourselves to try for once and forever. It's our time. It is our time. So I admonish you, drop me a message here in the chat. Send me an email at atucker at joliseenterprises.com, or just go ahead and you can direct message me here on Facebook or over there on Instagram. It's a 4-week course. I promise you it will be so, so worth your time. And it is the ultimately best way to get your 2022 going. All right. So that's it for tonight. Thanks again. Hello to everybody who joined me. Thank you. I see Sonia and I see some Just for Wellness. Thank you. And I see Miss CEO is over there too. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I can't see too much again over here on Facebook. I don't quite know. I see Demir is here too. Wonderful. Hey, I found the comments, y'all. I'm making progress. 2022 is going to be a good year technology wise for me. I have made that commitment too. But anyway, that's it for tonight. You guys go and have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Thanks for joining me. Again, Finally Me starts on Monday. Okay. Actually, I apologize. It starts on Tuesday of next week. And if you're interested, just let me know. And remember, you determine your success, and the self-sabotaging ends in 2022. We will not go any further with that behavior. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed this. All right. Good night, everyone.